This conference will now be recorded.
So welcome guys. Today is the first session of MySQL version 8. So this is 40 hours workshop and it will be on weekend. So Saturday is the fixed day and after that Sunday or Friday will be the second day. So it depends on my availability and timing is 7 a.m. To 8:30 approximate. So today I will talk about introduction to databases. So we know that we have the data in the universe and we daily interact data every day. Suppose you want to listening or you want to listen to your favorite song. So you open your playlist and you will choose one song. So the playlist is basically is a database. And suppose you take a picture or photo and uploaded it to your account on social network like Facebook. So your photo gallery or picture gallery becomes a database. Okay. Same way, suppose you are doing shopping from online website. Suppose you are buying clothes, shoes, and many more things. So you are using, there is a cart available in that. So you will choose the item and you will add it in that cart. So basically, that is the database. So I mean to say, databases are everywhere. So if you break the data and base, so you will get it. Data means the records, collection of records, and base is basically a place where you have to store the data. So by definition, if we talk about, so database is simply structured collections of data, and database is an application that stores the organized collection of record, and it can be accessed by one user or it can be accessed by multiple user, and also when user are accessing, other user can modify also. And so that it allows us organize data into tables. In tables we have row and columns, and on top of table we create index so that we can find relevant information very quickly. So the data within a database are basically related to each other. So we heard there is a term which is called as relational database. So what is relational database? Relational database like products, categories, etc. And using the tables, excuse me, we stores the data. So table contains column and rows like a spreadsheet, and table can relate to another table by various type of relationship, that is one to one and one to many. It depends on the architectural design, or you can say model design of MySQL database. So user or we handle a substantial amount of data. So we need to way to efficiently define databases, tables, and process data. So that is the little introduction about the database. Now, more meaningful definition is a database is a structured collection of data that is organized and stored in a table, so that user can retrieve, user can manage, user can update the information. And it is a systematic and electronical method for managing and storing data. to support retrieval and manipulation of information. Okay. And what are the key components of the database? So basically, the key components of the database are tables, records, fields, schemas, queries, indexes, relationship. So table is basically the basic unit of a database where actually data is stored, and each table contains rows and columns, and with each row representing a record and each column representing a field or attribute. Now, what is record? Record is basically we called as rows, and records are individual entries within a table, and each record contain information about a specific entry or item. Suppose I have telecom database and user is planning to buy a one package, monthly package. So user before that user want to buy a SIM. So the customer information will be stored in the table. So that is the example. And also user want to open a bank account. So user information will stored in table. So that is another example. So these two domain are very popular in terms of data wise. Now, social platform also has millions of data about the users, so that is another field. And fourth field, we can say social, not social, online shopping or retail shopping, where we have lots of customers record. So this is another domain where database is used. So like that, in this world where there is a data, and so that much the possibility of database is also there. Okay. So fields basically we called as column. So as I said, columns represent the attributes or characteristics of the data which is stored in a table, and like name, date, or numeric value. So all because of are the attributes, and that belongs to one rows or one record. Okay. And schema we knows very well, that is the logical area where user is creating table, user is creating index, user is creating views, all goes to in that area. So that is called as schema. And you can say it is define the organization of the database. That is another meaning. And queries is basically the request which user access or which user execute on the database. So we use generally the one common language, which is SQL, structured query language. I will talk about later. And indexing, we know very well that it is a technique used to optimize the performance of a database by creating indexes on column on respective table. So if user is accessing that column, so it will get the data faster. And relationship basically exists between two tables, three tables, and more. So that are connected actually, and they had common type of relationship. So that relationship be one to one, one to many, and many to many. So it depends. Okay. And if you have any question, use the chat box so that at the end I will talk about your doubts and questions. Okay. So use the chat box. Excuse me. Now Databases are two types. One is a relational database, and second one is no database. So relational database basically organize data into tables, and excuse me, and no SQL database is basically more flexible approach to storing and retrieving data, and it is used for large scale and rapidly changing data set. And in terms of relational database, we have Oracle database, we have MySQL database, we have MS SQL database, we have Postgres, or you can these database, and these are the top four databases in relational database. And the no SQL database in that very popular is MongoDB, Cassandra, and Redis. So that are the example of relational database and no SQL database. But MySQL database is open source database. Postgres is open source database, but Oracle and MS SQL are not open source database. Okay. And what is relational database? So as I said, it is a type of database that organizes the data into multiple tables. Each table has rows and columns, and they had a relationship between the tables. And it was introduced in 1970 by Cod, and this model is based on mathematical set theory and provides a structured and efficient way to organize and retrieve data. Okay. Now, what is the characteristics of relational database? So as I talk about the database characteristics, so same belongs to here, like tables, rows, columns, but the primary key and foreign key is the key of relational database. So primary key is basically a unique identifier for each record in a table, so that every record will be unique, no duplicacy will be available, or will user can store in the table. And foreign key is basically a bridge between two tables, where column should be same in two tables, and then this foreign key applied between the tables, and it will establish a relationship between two tables. So when you are accessing the data from two table, then primary key and foreign key plays an important role. And relationship already I talk about, and normalization is basically designing, which involves the organizing data to reduce redundancy and dependency, so that it gives you more efficient and maintainable database structure. So, like example, we have MySQL, Postgres, Oracle database, MS SQL, SQL-Lite. So, relational database are widely used in various applications and depends from small scale project to large enterprises. And because it provides you structure and organized approach to data, so that's why relational database is more popular than no SQL database. But nowadays Mongo is in demand, and if you check top five databases on there is a DB engine website which gives you the top five databases list. So in that, the order is Oracle, MySQL, MS SQL, Postgres, open source. Okay, so let me show you DB engine ranking. So if you click Let me show you that screen. So see that uh, the first one is Oracle, second one is MS SQL, third one is MS SQL, fourth one is Postgres, and fifth one is MongoDB. And then Redis, Elastic, IBM DB2, Snowflake, Flake, and SQLite. So I'm not interested in that. So this ranking I'm seeing from 2019, and from 2019, Oracle is on top, MySQL is on second. Okay, so that is the point or key point of this website. Okay, excuse me. So nowadays, multi-skill database DBA is required. So for that, if you know Oracle, you should know MySQL or Postgres or MS SQL, MongoDB. But I prefer if you know Oracle, so you should go with the MySQL or Postgres. In these two, you can choose. So because of that, I have planned MySQL workshop as well as Postgres workshop, which both we are starting today. And what is the language of a relational database? So already I said that that is SQL, structured query language. So this is the standard language which is used to access the database, or you can say access the data from the database. And it is used to managing and manipulating the record or the data, and it provides a way to communicate with the RDBMS, and user can perform select, update, insert, and delete statement. And there is NC SQL defines the SQL standard, and the current version of SQL is 2023. So when we refer to the SQL standard, it means we are talking about the current SQL version. Okay, and key component of SQL, we have DQL, we have DDL, we have DABL, we have DCL. So what is DQL? DQL is basically the primary command is a select statement, where you are accessing select star from table, or you are accessing select column 1 column 2 from table, or you can say select column 1 column 2 from table 1, where column 1 equals to 1 or 2 or like that. Okay, and DDL is basically is used to define and managing the structure of the database, like creating a table, altering a table, deleting a table, and other database. So the common command is create, alter, drop. And DML is basically used to manipulate the data in the database. So it has insert, update, delete. So common command are insert, update, and delete. And the last one, data control language. So it is basically granting and revoking permission. So the command is grant and revoke. So SQL is very core language, and very simple syntax and concept. But this course, I will not talk about SQL queries and all. So it is the DBA workshop, but I have added create a table, alter table, like so whatever the DBA required for the administration, creating a user, granting a privileges, revoking a privileges, so that I have added in the course content. So if those are not present in my demo, so this is the course content. Let me talk about that also. So first, introduction to MySQL, which I am telling right now. and then installing the MySQL server on Windows, and installing MySQL server on Linux, installing MySQL shell, installing MySQL workbench if it is not coming in installation of MySQL. So separately you can also install, and MySQL architecture, configuring MySQL, which is based on a configuration file, and then creating a database, and modifying a database, creating a table, modifying table data, querying table data, user management, exporting and importing data, backup concept, what types of backup we have, what is the recovery, and how to monitor and how to optimize query performance, and then the last is MySQL replication. So almost 20 plus we have topics in that, yeah, 20, 21. So in that, basically we have multiple subtopics. So we will discuss one by one. Okay. So this is overall course content of this workshop. So back to the topic, that is introduction. So now what is MySQL? So MySQL name comes from the founder or co-founder Monty, whose daughter name is My. So they had taken my word from the daughter name, and SQL is basically the structured query language. Then it becomes MySQL, and MySQL is open source database, and it means it is free software under the GNU license. Anyone can download the code and modify the code and can use it and give own name. But now it is support without database support, no database become popular. So that's why Oracle entered in this open source database and had providing support by them, and it is a robust database management system which is designed for managing a relational database, and it is based on a structured query language, which is popular language for accessing and managing records. And uh, you can use MySQL without any cost, but if you require support, then you have to connect with Oracle, and then Oracle will charge for the software. And you have flexibility to modify the source code according to your specific requirement. And you have to option to purchase a commercial license from Oracle, which provides access to premium support. And when compared to other database like Oracle, MS SQL, MySQL is very easy to learn, and it is very versatile. You can run on Windows, you can run on Linux, you can run on Unix, and you can install as a server or as a desktop, or as a development desktop. So it is more reliable, it is more scalable, and it give you more speed. Okay. So the official way to pronounce MySQL is MySQL, not MySQL. So if you pronounce that is okay, no fine, but the better pronunciation is MySQL. Okay. And if you are a web developer, then MySQL is a great choice for you guys. And it's developed in C language and C++ language. Nowadays, it is used by small companies. It is used by big companies, and uh, the logo of MySQL is dolphin, and we called as Sakila. So when you install MySQL, this database named Sakila is also comes in that. So that is a little bit about MySQL information and what MySQL provides. So it provides to implement database operation on tables, in tables, rows and columns, and on table we had indexes, and it defines the database relationship in the form of tables. It provides the referential integrity between rows or columns, and it allows us to update the table indexes automatically. And it uses many SQL queries so that user can get the information from the multiple tables. And what is the key feature of MySQL? So basically, the first key feature is it is open source under the GNU license, that is General Public License, which means it is free, available for use. Anyone can modify, anyone can distribute in the market. And the second popularity is it is a relational database, so that is more popular. And it third is it is multi-platform supported, means Windows, Linux, Mac OS available. Fourth thing is scalability. So MySQL can use for small industries or large industries also. And the performance is very high in terms of storage and retrieval mechanism, because MySQL is also support indexing, caching, and other optimization technique. And security wise, it is also very good, where user can be authenticated by the encryption, by the password, and data is also encrypted. And the second last is community and support. So it has large community nowadays, and commercial support is available from Oracle, which basically acquired Sons of Micro. So it comes under that banner. And Sun purchased long back MySQL. So when Oracle purchased Sun, Java and MySQL is the key component of Sun. And compatibility, MySQL support general SQL in the syntax, which is used in database industries. Okay, and storage engine, that is the difference between other databases. So in Oracle, we have ASM mechanism, but here we have multiple storage availability. So the popular one is InnoDB, which is by default from version 8. Excuse me. And other popular is MySAM, and others are also we talk about later. So MySQL is used very programming language like PHP, Python, Java. So that's why it is also popular in web developer. I already said that. And how MySQL work actually. So as we know that every database has client, every database has server, and then these two communicate each other to storing the data, to requesting the data, and it is the common client server model for mostly databases, whether it is Oracle, whether it is MySQL, and it is designed for end user, which we called as client, that basically access the data from the server where your database installed. So you can install client and server on one machine. You can install client and server on different machine. So we can or user can or client can request the data from command line, from user interface. So we had command MySQL command line. We have MySQL shell, which is the latest version or latest shell, which gives you more flexibility in terms of using the command. And the graphical is MySQL Workbench. So whenever you are installing MySQL Server, it comes in that actually. So I will show you today if I get a time after completing the theory, or in between the theory, I will show that. And the core of MySQL database is MySQL Server. So the server is available as a separate program and responsible for handling all the database version statement or commands. Okay. So how you will see excuse me that command. So just press window R, and in that if you press cmd, so it will open this cmd command line. Okay, let me show you that screen. uh, let me show you entire screen. Okay, so just now I said that just press windows R. So in that type the cmd command, and this cmd command is pop up. Now here if you say MySQL is the utility, and after that -u, that is the username. So my username is root, and then -p is the password. When you entered, it will ask the password. When you enter the password, it will pop up the MySQL prompt. So this is accessing the command line from CMD. Now again press the Windows R, and just go to the search window, and here type MySQL. So here also MySQL command line. So when you open this, it will ask the password. So when I say password, it gives you MySQL prompt. And again go to search, just type MySQL and go to Workbench. And when you click on Workbench, it will give you display like this. And here for connection, when you click on local instance, and here you give the password and then OK, then it will open a graphical representation page which has many things. So these are my databases, which already inbuilt database. And how to check the database, we have show database query. When you execute this query, so see that two other databases, or we can say schema. Basically in MySQL, either you are saying schema or you are saying database, so both are same. So now we had information schema database, we have performance schema database. So these two schemas or database are very important. I will talk about later. And MySQL, Sakila, World are the sample databases, and sys also the databases. So if you click on MySQL, go to table, and when you click, so we had city, community, and country language table. In city we had columns. In columns we have ID, name, country, district, population. So like that you will go in that, and that is okay. And if you want to see for server, so you go to management section, just click on server. So this is the local instance MySQL 80, and that is the service name, and host is this my laptop name, and socket is MySQL, and the port is 3306. Please remember, like Oracle 1521, here we have 3306, that is the default port, and version you can check 8036, and it is Windows 64-bit, and configuration file, that is my.ini, which reside in this location, and these are the running status March 2, and these are the available features. Okay, so if you go for client connection, so these are client connection, user and privileges. So I had a root user, that is the information, and this Ahmad user I have created during installation, and this user is connecting to localhost, but Ahmad you are seeing percent sign, so it means this Ahmad user can connect to this database from any host. So we will discuss chapter wise. And in MySQL we have session variable, we have global variable I will talk about later, and that is data import. So you had these databases, you can export and import. So these are the pages, and startup and shutdown. So right now your database is running, and other databases like we have logs. So here we have error log, and if we say all, if we say inodb, then these are the options, and these are the log file. So actually some permission denied error is coming, and option file is basically the parameter file, you can say. So we had general variables, we have logging variables, we have inodb variable, we have network variable, we have advanced variable, we have other variable, we have security related variable, we have replication related variable, we have MySAM storage related variable, we have performance related variable. So like that we can go in that, and this is the dashboard for network, MySQL, InnoDB status, and performance report. You can get it from here, and performance schema startup. So that is this. So like that, we have a very flexible graphical tool like OEM we in Oracle database, same way MySQL Workbench in MySQL database. Got it, guys? So you want to log out, so just go to File, and from here exit. So that will be close. And for MySQL command line, if you say show databases, that is the command to fetch the databases. So these are the database 6 we have when you installed MySQL version, and same command you can check from CMD mode. So show databases. So like that you get the same output. Got it, guys? Any question? Yeah, one thing also, just press window or services. So when you click on this, so these are the services. So whenever you are installing Windows, so it installed as a service. So just press M. So this MySQL services is there. So suppose I'm stopping services, and after that is starting the services. So this is the one way to stop and start MySQL, and restart will give you both the things together in one command, so that you can do also. Now go and check to CMD prompt or any MySQL prompt, and same command when you execute it will say the error of connection loss because we stop and start, so that comes. Okay, same way in CMD command, if you execute this, it also shows this information. You got my point? Now if suppose I say select star from from MySQL. So no database selected. So first you have to select the database, and then you have to use that, or other if you say show tables, so also it will say no database selected. So you have to select the database and then you can execute. So how to select the database? Use keyword is the use. So use MySQL, and after that if you execute show tables, so these are the 38 tables we have in MySQL database. Clear? Same way you say use world, and now say show tables. So these are the three tables. So you say select star from city. So these are the cities we have in this database. Huge. Okay. So this query is go on. Okay. Let me select star from country. So it has many countries, but output is very not correct. So use the G letter, and then output is coming like that. So we have Zimbabwe, continent is Africa, region is East Africa, surface area is this, independent year is 1980 because we know that British ruled everywhere. Okay, population is this, life expectancy is this, GNP is this, GNP/OLD, local name is Zimbabwe, government is Republic, head of state is Robert, capital is 4068, code is ZW. So like that. Okay, clear? Any questions, guys? So I can enable the mic. If you have any question, please ask, and after ending your question, please make it off so that noise will not come. Any question, guys? Excuse me. Whatever I talk about, ask from that portion. Don't ask your project question if you have. Okay, no questions, no worries. Okay, back to the topic. So the working of MySQL database with MySQL Server is this. Means MySQL creates a database that allows you to build many tables to store and manipulate data and defining the relationship between each table. Client will make the request from command prompt from GUI to get the data, and whenever user is executing, server application will respond, and client can use MySQL graphical user interface like Workbench, MySQL command line, and MySQL. Another is MySQL shell. Okay, so that is this. It is advanced version of MySQL command line. So here you will get this JS prompt. So that is another command line tool. Okay, let me show you again. Yeah, in search window you type MySQL, so all the MySQL component will come, and this is I was talking about MySQL advanced shell, which is new shell actually. Okay, so you have choice, either you can use GUI and either you can use command. So some GUIs are commercial, but some are free. Okay, so please check before using it. And this is another reason why MySQL is popular. So that is same which already I have told. And yeah, the last line, MySQL support large database up to 50 million rows or more in a table. Okay, and the default size limit for a table is 4 GB, but you can increase. It depends on your operating system. Theoretical limit is 8 million terabytes. Okay, and history of MySQL. So as I said, it was started in 1979, almost 1977 Oracle born, and 1979 MySQL born, and the inventor was Michel. And it was actually university project where he developed in-house database tool called UniReg for managing database, and this has been written in several different languages. And after some time, the author of MSQL to see if it will be interested to connect MSQL to UniReg plus SAM handler to provide indexing. So that's why this MySQL came into existence. And by year, if you go, so 1994, it was developed and in Sweden, and the initial version was released internally. And the first version, MySQL 1 for public, it was 1995. Then 1996, MySQL 13.19 version introduced, and the InnoDB storage introduced. And in 1998, MySQL 3.23 was introduced, which is for performance based. And 2000 MySQL release 13.23.15, which is the first version to achieve NC SQL compliance. And then in 2001 MySQL 4 was released to support subqueries and stored procedure. And 2023, sorry, 3 MySQL 4.1 is you release, which is you based for support for ACID transaction. And 2005 MySQL 5 comes, that was a very popular version, and in that category 5.7 was very popular. And then 2008 Sun acquired MySQL AB company, and then after that it goes in Sun, under the Sun. And then in 2010, after 2 years, Oracle acquired Sun, so that comes MySQL under the banner of Oracle. And 2010 MySQL 5.5 was released, and in 2013 MySQL 5.6 release, and 2015 that was MySQL 5.7. So that was the very popular release, and it was I think 2 year back it was ended. And in 2018 MySQL 8 was introduced, April 2018, and this is the first latest of stable version. And MySQL development is ongoing. And in 2023 17 January, MySQL 8.032 was released, and October 25, 2023, MySQL 8.2 comes actually. And these are the version and their end support. So yeah, 5.7 is ended on October 2023. Very long actually. So from 13 to 23, almost 10 years. Like 9i, it was comes in 2002 and then ended, I think, 2009 or 2010. When 10G comes, everybody was using 9i. When 11G comes, then everybody was using 9i. But Oracle forced to use 11G, that is more popular, more stable version in Oracle, that is 11.204, and like that. So now 8.3 is 16 January 2024, almost this comes. That is actually development databases. Now features. So as I said, MySQL is a relational database management based on SQL queries, and it is the most popular language for accessing the data from the database. And it is RDBMS, the first one. It is easy to use, it is secure, client server model, it is free to download. I will show you. It is scalable, it gives you speed, it gives you high flexibility, and it is compatible to many operating system. It has a rollback option, but commit option is auto commit. So whenever you are creating a table, whenever you are inserting a table, whether it is a DDL or DML, it is auto commit. Memory efficiency, high performance, so everything you will get. High productivity, platform independent, partitioning is available, GUI support is available, and this one is important, password support. So is MySQL 8 gives you to support dual password. One is the current password and another is the second password, which allows a user to transition to the new password. Okay, what is the disadvantage? Whenever we have advantages, so disadvantages is also attached with that things or that person. It is everywhere. Advantage and disadvantage is for everywhere. So MySQL version less than 5 does not support a role, commit, and stored procedure. MySQL does not support very large database size as efficiently. MySQL does not handle transaction very efficiently. MySQL is accused that it does not have good developing and debugging tool. MySQL does not support SQL check constraint. So these are the disadvantages and drawback. And version, just now I talk about the latest version is MySQL 8, and it depends. When you are going to install MySQL in your system, you must have choose the version and distribution. Okay, so one is development release, second is general availability release. So the development release provides the newest feature and it is not recommended to support to use in production. And general availability release is known as production or stable release, which is mainly used for production. So you have to decide which one you want to go. And a feature added in MySQL is data dictionary. So earlier data is stored in metadata files and non-transaction tables, but now it is stored in transactional actually, and atomic DDL statement. Upgrade procedure we have. So in earlier version, if you are upgrading, so automatically upgrade the data dictionary table at the next startup, and then DBA is invoke MySQL upgrade command manually. So that is was the past, but now from 8.0.16, DBA is not dependent on this command. Okay, so that is free from the DBA typing. And security in account management, it has in 8 resource management, it has stable encryption comes where default underscore table encryption. So let me. Just a second. If you want to see any variables, so just go and type this command, show variables like default underscore table underscore encryption. So right now it is off. So like that, every variable you can get it by this way. Okay. So InnoDB enhancement is available in 8 where they use deadlock deduct, table encryption feature, character set support. JSON is using every databases, so that enhancement is available. Data type support, optimizer enhancement happen, and Windows function happen in 8, and some other important features are like error logging rewritten to use MySQL component architecture, new backup log introduced, and connection management enhancement happen, and the plugin was written in C, but now it is only written in C++ language. MySQL 8.0.17 version provides clone plugin which permit InnoDB data locally or from a remote server. So clone plugin also support replication. The time zone supports timestamp and date time value. The version also added the SQL standard table value constructor and explicit table clause. And deprecated features like UTF-8 MB3 is deprecated. SHA-256 underscore password is deprecated. Now the default authentication is caching underscore SHA2 underscore password, and the validate underscore password plugin will be deprecated soon. The engine clause will be deprecated for the alter table and drop table. Auto increment and sign attribute are deprecated, and many more. Excuse me. And what are the features removed? So these are the features which removed actually. So the information schema view, which is based on InnoDB system table space, now replaced by internal system view. So these are the old name of the views. Now new name is the views is available. And yeah, now variable. So I said variables are basically the parameter name and its values. So we had user defined variable, we had local variable, we had system variable. Okay. So when you want to pass values from one statement to another statement, the user defined variable enable us to store a value in one statement and later can reflect it to another, refer to another statement. So by select command, you can find out the values of variable. By set command, you can change the value of the variable. So suppose if I'm saying, suppose you are going to assign a value to a variable by using the set statement. Okay, so set name is Peter. So now it is done. And after that, if you are executing by select clause, so see that what will come. So Peter name is coming. So like that, you can set the name variable and its values. Okay, and you can get it like that. And if we access the undeclared value, so what you will get means we didn't set it, but we are fetching the data. So if I say var1, so it will shows you null. Okay, but when you set it, then it will give the value whatever you have set it. So these are the ways. And local variable is what is basically user defined variable that declares by one person, cannot visible to another person. We can assign the user defined variable into limited data. Okay. Oh, I didn't share the screen actually, which I did now. So again, I'm showing. If you want to set any variable, you have to use the set command. Now Peter is set. Now I want to access this variable, so I will say select name. So Peter value comes. And if you are not setting the variable, but you are accessing the variable, you will get the null value in the output. So that I talk about. Okay. And now local variable is basically type of variable that is not prefixed by at the rate symbol, and the scope of local variable is stored in program block in which it is declared. So MySQL uses the declared keyword to specify the local variable. And so what is the example? So like if I'm saying declare total price or declared ABC integer default 0. So let me show you, let me make it entire screen. See if I say declared, so see that okay, some error is coming. Okay, we will check later. Now system variable, so if I say show variables, so these are the variables we have in MySQL. So almost 657. So just go by this and execute. So this way your variables comes and variable name, variable values. So these we need to set. So see that version is 8036. Okay. So like that from A to Z we had the available variables. And how do you check that? You can check by select query. Suppose I want to see the buffer size, so select at the rate and key buffer size is the variable name or parameter, so you will get the value of this buffer size. Okay, so that is the way you can set it. And another way is you will say show variables like wait timeout. So these are the wait timeout variables: InnoDB lock wait timeout, MySQL X wait timeout, and its values. So whatever the wait timeout keyword is in any variable, it is displaying like that. So percent sign starting and percent sign at the end. Suppose I am removing percent sign from starting, so how your output change? Only wait timeout is coming, because whatever the keyword which is start from wait timeout, it comes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now how to install? Okay, let me show you. So actually I already installed. So first I have to close the windows uh, of every command line. So I am closing it. CMD is also I am closing it. This also I am closing it. MySQL shell is also closing it. Whatever I am closing, I am ending it. And now I will go to service, stop this service. Okay, just close it. How to deinstall? Either you go to C drive, okay, and then delete the locations. So this is the C drive. Go to program file first. This is MySQL or MySQL folder. Just delete that. So it will say continue. So this how to uninstall this topic I'm showing before installation. So there is a one location of program files. Another location is program files 86. There is also MySQL folder. Just delete that. So now these two cleaning done. Now go to program data. There is also the folder. Now it is done. Go to MySQL Workshop, and this is MySQL community. But how to download this? So there is a dev.mysql.com. So when you click it, I'm posting you on your chat box. Okay, and here you go to download section, and these are MySQL Enterprise. This so you have trial download from e-delivery. You have developer download is this. You have developer download is this. Okay, so that is a MySQL Enterprise Edition. So if you click on that, it will gives you everything like router, workbench, enterprise manager, enterprise firewall, and all. Okay, so and also we have, so this is MySQL community download. Just click on this, and here this is MySQL installer for Windows. When you click on this, it will give you 8036 Microsoft Windows, and it is giving two file, actually 32-bit, but it is available for, it is work for 64-bit. So the second one is online, actually. So when you click on it, it will ask for login and sign up. Don't go there, only say no, I want to download only. When you click on this, so this is 285 MB file is downloaded. So like this way it comes. So now download is done. Now this is the folder, or this is the software. So when you click on this, it will say prepare to install. So now it is executing. Now it asks the permission. Now MySQL installer 1.6 is coming, and it is finding the everything. Now it is actually, I already installed, so I have to remove this. So I will click remove section, and then I will execute one by one. So whatever I have deleted from installer, also you have to remove that. Then you will get the better installation. Otherwise existing installation creates a problem for you. So everything it is deleting. So MySQL installer also gives you removing the features, whether it is MySQL Server, whether it is MySQL Workbench, whether it is MySQL Shell, whether it is MySQL Router. So MySQL Server, MySQL Router, and MySQL Shell is three components of MySQL database to manage properly. So it is finished. Now it is all good. Either you can add here, so it will go to startup, or otherwise just cancel it. Yes, close it, and now execute again. So now removal page will not come. Okay, it is checking. Now this comes. So we have server only options, we have client only options, we have full options, we have custom options. So I will go with full. When I say next, these are the product will install: MySQL Server, Workbench, Shell, Router, documentation, and sample database. So just execute that. So one by one, it will start downloading it, or simultaneously it will go for downloading. So it gives you faster installation. So whichever it complete, it will show green check. And now MySQL shell has error. Mhm. What error comes? Yeah, let me execute again. So now it's working fine. So whenever, if suppose anyone is giving an error, just go back and go forward, then it comes like that. Now these are ready to install. Just execute. So following product will install. So first server will install, then workbench will install, then shell will install, then router will install, then documentation will install, then sample database will install. So all complete. Now go to next section. Now one by one it is ready to configure. So whether you want to go for development, server, or dedicated. Right now I'm going to developer. TCP IP connection port 3306, X protocol is 33060, and name pipe, shared pipe. You have advanced logging options, you can choose it. So now I'm not doing anything, just say next, and it is asking for password encryption. That is recommended, that was old, so don't go with that. And when you say next, it asks the password, so just give the password. If it is weak, it will show weak. And also the recommended is use the another user for authentication or for working. So these are the rules. So I'm choosing admin role, and the password for this user, so this will is also shows whether it is a weak or okay. So now Ahmad user I have created. So now these are the Windows services which name comes, so you can change it here. and standard system account. And then next, then I want to give full access to the user running the Windows services, so just say next. And these are the configuration steps which happen, and these are the log section, so just execute. It will execute one by one. So writing configuration files means parameter file, update Windows firewall rule, adjust Windows service, initialize the database, updating permission for data folder and related server, starting the server, applying security, create user account, update the startup menu. Just say finish. So this configuration is complete. And then router comes. So I'm not doing that because it is for cluster purpose. So just leave it. Now go to sample and example database. So it will ask the password. When you say, then check it. It will give you connection succeeded. So now when you say next, it will execute these two things. Uh, so now it is executing, and then finish. Now your everything is complete except router. And after that, this workbench will come up, this MySQL shell will come up. So just say finish. So just wait and watch. So MySQL shell comes and this workbench comes. So these two tool comes automatically. So workbench, just try to connect, and the password, it will open a database, and show database is already typed over there. So if you want to run, just run it. And if you want to execute the portion, just do this command. Okay, so just close it and close this window, close this window, ranking, blah blah. And this is my page. So whatever I have done, it is mentioned here. Okay, on the notes with a screenshot. So this is the way you have to install the MySQL on Windows. Very easy. Okay, so every step, yeah. So I said connections are command line and workbench. So if you want to go, so this comes. If you workbench, this comes. You have to enter the password, and after that this workbench come. Otherwise, if you go by command line, so just type MySQL and click on command line, and it will directly ask the password. So just say password. This client actually comes. Okay, so just close this. And here show databases. Okay, spelling wrong. Now you want to create a database, so simple command is create database test db1. That's it, it's created. Now if you check show database, it shows 7 rows. How to use that? So you say use test db1. If you do not enter anything, so unknown database test db1. So spelling wrong. Okay, so when I say test db1, so database db change. If you say show tables, nothing is there. Now I create one table, create table t1 integer, sorry, id column and integer. And this is the way you create the table. Now you say show tables, it will show table t1. Got it? So create database, very easy, not lengthy as compared to Oracle. Create table, simple syntax, nothing to worry about that. Okay, and insert table t1 values. Okay, leave it, some syntax error, we will check later. So this is the way we actually do it. Now go back to here. So this is the way you can check it. Okay, create database, I have just shows that. And yeah, show character set. So show character character set. So these are the 41 character set available we have in our database. And if you want to see specific character set, so just say show character set UTF. So these are the UTF keyword related text. Okay. Oh, entire screen, my god. Yeah, so just show character set 41, you are specific for something. So this UTF like keyword, okay, then you can use it. And show collation, basically that also 286. So every character has related to collations we will talk about. So that is collation. This, if suppose you want to see what is the collation for some respective character set, so for one character set these are the collation we have available for UTF-8 MB4. Okay, so if I say, so two different character set cannot have the same collation. So each character set has a default collation. For example, the default collation for character set UTF-8 MB4 are Latin 1 and Swedish respectively. So basically information schema character set tables hold this information, so you can execute by show character set statement. Okay, and create database I have just shown. Show create database, yeah, if you want to see any structure of the database, so you have show create database testdb1. So whatever the database has characteristics, so testdb1 default character set is UTF-8 MBV4, please remember. And for this collat is using this. So this is the way you can see the structure of the database, just like as describe of the table, how to use it and how to exit I will show. So if you want to exit, just go exit. So that gone. Now CMD for command line, you or workbench I just showed. So just click on workbench, open it, it will open the things. And yeah, from workbench also you can create the database, so that I will show you. So just say show workbench, give the password, and here this is the tool create new schema. So if you are creating a database, so in workbench it is called as schema, so don't get confused. So I am saying test db2. So here default character set, just leave it collation, and after that you say apply, it will give the top up pop up, and this is the command which comes. And if you say apply, and if you say show logs, so this is show you, then finish. And if you go to schema section, just refresh it, so see that test db2 comes. So this is the way you can create from workbench the database. Okay, yeah, if you want to make it as a default, so just right click and set as a default. So whenever you are login, this desk database comes you, so you can use it. Otherwise you have to use the yes command. Another way is just double click on this, then this becomes default one. Okay, so on command line you have use option, and if you go and you just click information, so this comes. So default collation, default characters, table count, database size, tables t1, all the information, columns, all the information, indexes, no, triggers, no, views, no, stoppages, no, functions, no, grant. These are the grants, events, nothing happened. So like that, you will check about respective database and respective tables. And if suppose you want to test a new connection for Workbench, just exit it, okay, and click for MySQL Workbench, click it, and here you can make new connection. It will pop up, so you can give connection name, suppose Ahmed, host name is local, root is local, and default schema which one you want. So I say test db2, and after that test the connection, give the root password. Now connection is successful. Okay, okay, so this Ahmed connection comes. When you click, it will open like this, and see test db2 is by default. So this is the way you can also make it new connection. Okay, so like that. Okay, so yeah, from here I am stopping. Save it. Now that's it from my side. If you guys have any questions, please ask. I am enabling the mic. Either you can use mic or either you can use chat. So just stopping the recording.